I'm actually it's probably better off he didn't try making it himself. But it was like
Jim, aren't the floats there bottomless at Red Robin?
I believe so.
They are bottomless root beer floats. Wow, how could you not?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how many
Then
root
again,
beer floats do you have to have? I feel like 2 I'm probably capped.
I feel like root beer and ice cream is a great blend. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
I had a root beer float last week at the Hummelstown Carnival.
Let's talk about it, Mark.
It was really good. I got it after we played the fish game.
How about it?
I still
we won
do
3 fish.
How many do you still have?
0. The ones from the E-Town Fair are still alive from 4 years ago. They're swimming around.
So Hummelstown selling bad goldfish.
Yeah, we got some bad goldfish.
That's actually not surprising, if I'm being honest.
That's a shame. We thought we were saving them. I had to go out and buy new ones because Alex he'd be upset if he knew they died. I had to run to the pet store.
Oh, no.
Well, now he's going to know.
Yeah, did he watch the show?
He's watching Netflix right now.
All right. So
are we on Netflix?
Yes.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
We were supposed to be on that one thing, right? We did bios and everything. What happened with that?
Well, that was fun.
That's fair. Probably because Jim changed all the bios from first person to third person and nobody liked them then.
Probably. Sure.
Long walks on the beach.
I'll take the hit on that. All right. As we continue our month-long salute to the American independence.
Speaking of American, Del Wilkes died.
He did.
Yeah, you didn't mention it in this day in wrestling history like you were supposed to.
Like
well,
what a monster.
I didn't
Come on,
have it.
Jim.
I didn't have it.
Man, that's un-American.
The former guest.
I didn't have it written down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It just happened today. It's very fresh.
Should have led the show with it. Del Wilkes.
Del Wilkes. Del Wilkes.
All right. As we continue our salute of American independent wrestling, we thought we'd cover 2 topics this week. We may hit multiple next week as well. Obviously, I don't know. But
you had 2 questions of the week?
No, it's not a question of the week, Ryan. It's just a topic. It's
Ryan,
not.
If you would pay attention to that chat that we're in for topics on the show, you would know.
Right. We literally now because of you last week on this program.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We now have a chat that is just for show topics.
Yeah, but we don't. I can't keep track of one chat. How would you think 2 is going to help?
Somebody sent a meme to it and it just ruined it.
Yeah, Ryan sent the meme to it.
Ryan fucked it up.
That was me.
On the very first interaction we had on that.
That was me.
Thread.
That was all Ryan, and I apologize for that profusely.
You did apologize. And you said you're out, and I think you started sending them back to the regular thread. But because we've been planning out questions of the week for the month, but this one, best match that you've ever seen at an indie show. Now, this is a show that you have attended. This is not a match that you've seen on YouTube or IWTV or anything like that. A match that you've actually seen live. Anybody want to kick us off?
Well, how about that one in KPW? I think it was the first night it became KPW. You boys remember that?
Yeah, that was it was a wild night.
And that what was it? Shatter and the Wrestler of the Millennium got into that huge brawl. And the Shooting Star. Oh, it was the Rising Star.
Rising
and
Star.
Then it wasn't necessarily a great match, but it was fun because it was so chaotic. And I think it was Shatter went up in the balcony and dove off on Louis G. Rich on the table.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think he missed the table.
Probably.
Well, he did his best.
I feel like the table broke. Maybe Lewis just fell through the table. I don't know. But I feel like the table broke.
Maybe it was an already broken table that just the weight of a human being on it just collapsed.
It was Asians.
Right. Yeah.
The most chaotic. My favorite one was Eddie
That sounds about
And
right.
Blue Pants
That's
was
about
there.
right. Blue Pants was there. That was the other one, by the way, from the pre-show.
Ah,
Blue
gotcha.
Pants.
Pre-show, post-show. Patreon.com/3Count Thursday. Send us money. You'll be able to hear the content.
Week
You
wasn't
can hear
good.
you can hear Ryan shit on like 17 different indie wrestlers.
The Estonian Thunder Frog defended against the Proletariat Boar of Moldova. And,
Moldova.
Yes. And the match itself was super great. Way fantastic. Not just saying that because one of them's my best effing friend in the whole world. Like, it was really super dope. But like Ryan, I had the pleasure of calling some pretty great matches. Yes, Big Jim.
How does one befriend a boar?
Well, did you ever watch The Lion King?
Yes.
Very much the same way.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
I
got you.
am Fat Timon and he is Buff Pumbaa.
Okay.
Fat. That's
Got
right.
it.
I'm if a meerkat ate all the meerkats.
What if the meerkat drank a 7-Up?
Then he would have already died because, golly, that's poison.
The skipper, my little buddy, when he was younger, loved watching Meerkat Manor on the Animal Planet.
Nice. Those are all my
Oh,
relatives.
And he would lock in.
We're all related.
It was fantastic. But
He's-
I got
you
you.
know-
He saw my cousins.
Skip, you know what would go great with watching Meerkat Manor?
Oh Lord, what?
A nice ice cold 7-Up.
Oh my God.
They are not a sponsor. This is not an ad.
Yeah, why?
Stop
no,
saying it.
That's
it's not.
Tim's bit.
Yeah, Zoa Energy.
Oh Jesus.
I can't
Natural
tell
flavored
you-
lemon lime.
The last time I would have dranken a 7-Up. Honest to God.
Drankin'?
Drank it a 7-Up.
I don't know people that even buy 7-Up, and I work at a fucking grocery store.
So before I get the show back on topic, my drink of choice as a child, not because it was mine, but because my mom only would let me drink Diet
Bigger.
7-Up.
Oh.
Diet 7-Up.
It's like sugar water.
It's not even sugar water because it's diet.
It's aspartame water.
Yeah. Do you know that C word you threatened to give me? It's all that Diet 7-Up from like 7 until 17.
E-word? Who said anything?
Ryan.
This was way at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I said that Zoe would give him cancer,
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
but the
thinking,
aspartame
Oh.
got him first.
Yeah.
I was thinking a complete other.
The Rock has more money than 7-Up, though, so
That's
still
true.
go after The
Yeah.
Rock.
That's right.
I don't know.
But I
7-Up
like
has that little spot.
Ryan,
That
have had
makes
the
sense.
pleasure of calling some fantastic matches, namely the Osirian Portal versus One Night Only. They wrestled 2 time limit draws before finally going to a no time limit match at Excellence Professional Wrestling. I got to see my first independent cage match. I got to call it. Some really fun times. But like Ryan, I feel like I need to go watch more independent wrestling, but I guess this is a good conversation for the 5 of us because it's weird being a fan and also having had worked an indie show.
I agree. It is kind of a
Like
weird thing.
going as a fan and paying, but
Right,
also
paying.
also knowing that like the money I'm spending is also going to like dudes who I've worked with before.
Right. You pay the money. You sit with the humanoids in the crowd.
Right.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I went up to a
You wish they had
PPW show,
deodorant.
I think with cousin Brian, and just to be able like to see your friend come out and interact with them on the other side of the barricade and hype them up. That's a lot of fun. That is a blast.
Well, I know
That
you
is-
and I think the last indie show that I had gone to as a fan was the PPW Impact.
Right, that was
show.
a great show.
That
Yes.
was a blast. That's definitely one thing. Once I feel comfortable going back inside buildings with people and human.
Well, let's make a very big difference. Buildings and people are one thing. Buildings and wrestling fans are very different.
A whole different.
Dirty, nasty, smelly wrestling fans. Yes.
Right.
You probably already had the coronavirus if you've been to Indy shows. So
that's probably true. But I definitely want to get back to going to shows again. And obviously we'll get back to calling shows as well as things get back on track, which I do look forward to. Before Matt and I get to do you guys have a favorite match that you have called? Because all of us have done comedy, even intern Mark, because I know he sat in with us, I think, a couple of times. I know you did the PWE stuff last summer. Do you have a favorite match that you've called? One that comes to mind, and I think for me, I think it's just because of the fact that when you look at wrestling, not many independent companies take on a match of this magnitude.
Do not hit the effing button.
Hell in a Cell! No,
I wasn't at Hell in a Cell. I was actually on vacation for Hell in a Cell, but there's a match where there's 2 rings and there's like a giant cage with like a weapons.
With the weapons.
I can't think.
Don't hit the
that was the.
But there's
something of horrors.
No, I don't think it was hard. But like, there's only been so many people that have been able to call this sort of match.
Blood and guts.
It's like blood and guts.
No, it was definitely before AEW came around.
It was before AEW came out. But
I'll tell you what my favorite one that I called was Solo Darling versus Candy Cartwright versus Kelly Klein, because it forever gave us Jim's shining moment on commentary.
My moment.
What a maneuver.
That show will stand up with any independent wrestling show ever.
I actually do have one of the other matches from that show as one of my favorites.
Do you have that card?
I do.
By any chance?
Yeah, what's that card?
Listen to this card. It was a one-off show. It was supposed to be, I think, it was the inaugural tour tournament, and that was the only one. But freaking card.
All right, so we had a tournament. So the first match was a tournament match, and that was Santana Garrett defeating Nikki Adams. And we have Hyan and Nyla Rose defeating Amazing Maria and Miss Hannah. Sorry if she's listening.
Woo! Former guest of this show, Miss Hannah.
Next match, Mark, we had Jordan Grace defeating Davian,
I believe.
If you're gonna do that, cut your mic off or cut your camera off.
Amazing Maria then won the Battle Royal for the vacant CWA Mid-Atlantic Championship and had a long reign for that. Solo Darling defeated Candy Cartwright and Kelly Klein in another first round match. Kylie Ray defeated Lacey Lane and Thunder Rosa in a first round match. Casey Catal defeated Mark Jocelyn.
What's great is I don't have Matt on the full screen, so it's literally just all 5 of us. We killed Big Jim. Big Jim is dead. Where did he go? Oh God.
Next match, Mark, I'm sorry, but Santana Garrett defeated Jordan Grace. Kylie Ray defeated I'm Sorry Ryan Solo Darling. Penelope Ford defeated C Bunny. Jal Cotto defeated Debbie Kane.
Oh my God, no.
That's gotta be Kane.
And then the final match of the night, we had Smiley Kylie Ray defeating Santana Garrett, which was one of the matches that I think was one of the best I've seen. One of.
Yeah, I mean
Oh
that.
my God.
Jesus, Mark.
I'm surprised Mark wasn't at that show Jocelyn and Jordan Grace.
Yeah, I think the restraining orders probably kept them away from that.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
So if you have 2 restraining orders, do the distance multiply or add? Is it
I
like
think it actually cancels out, right?
a negative and a negative is a positive? That's right.
That's the state of Delaware. State trooper said no on that one.
Yeah, it's a little different in Delaware. I could have went as an alias. Sometimes I use my alias William Brown. I probably could have got in.
No.
Yeah, but I think William Brown was still incarcerated.
Probably a few more restraining orders on that one.
A few more years so I can go anywhere.
Brian Christopher was supposed to be a special guest of that show and didn't show up.
There was also a very much sought after and hard to sign up for referee seminar prior to the show. Jim is holding up the number of attendance to that seminar.
One person.
You sure it wasn't
counting the referee?
It wasn't 2.
Yeah, I wish I could think of the name of that cage match that we called, but it was definitely, I think, just the magnitude of that match. Ryan,
what was that match called?
That was a PWE, right?
It wasn't called anything. It wasn't called anything.
PWE.
They didn't have it. They didn't have anything for it.
It's that match that Shane McMahon created.
They had the cage.
Yeah, it is that one. It is definitely that one.
The best
War Games.
War Games. War Games.
Get them both out of the way at once, Tim. You're welcome.
Wasn't it Game Wars?
Game Wars.
Shane McMahon. Games. War Games. War Games.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Auto Parts.
China.
Uh-oh.
So I have a question.
Yes,
Big
Tim.
Jim.
Mark.
Aren't you glad that you didn't that your wife's name is Dana as opposed to as like say something else like Riley?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, because if so, whenever you go like all baby Huey on your wife, you don't have to go oh Riley.
Every time a wrestling show comes on, is Walter on this show? Every single time. She's so
so now you know you have to just say I don't know, maybe, and make her just stay.
When he's in the main event.
Yeah, he only comes out after 9:30.
You should probably keep
much like Big Jim's little Huey.
It only comes out after 9:30.
It's like his Puxatawny Phil. Just
it goes back to bed at 9:30.
He comes out, he sees his shadow, he gets scared, and he runs away.
That's 6 more weeks of winter.
Just Big Jim busting into the bedroom, banging his chest like a silverback gorilla.
Oh, Harambe!
Oh, Jesus!
Drag her by the foot across the.
You know, if Mrs. Big Jim's name was Bobby, Bobbie.
Bob.
Bobby! Bob.
The neighbors might come out and help you look if they hear you screaming Bobby at night.
Yeah, that'll call the fucking cops. One of the two. Who didn't give their
Well, you asked another question and I don't think anybody ever answered it because they got on a damn tangent because you wouldn't say War Games.
War Games! War Games! War Games! War Games!
But actually, probably one of my favorite matches to call was that casket match at Legacy. Anyway,
all that for a casket match. It was AR Fox and Mr. Grimm, correct?
That was.
It was a good match. Became a body bag match.
Oh, this is about to be a body bag match if y'all do this shit more.
Oh, shut up. You're in Virginia or West Virginia or Kentucky or one of those places.
Northwest East Maryland. Anybody else? Favorite match to call?
Why doesn't Tim tell us his exact location? Why is he so general?
That's right. Favorite match to call?
It's because he likes to pretend he's from the South.
I don't pretend I'm from the South, sir. I
Northwest.
I'm not
I'm
a
from
country
Northwest
boy.
Maryland.
I'm from the South. There's a difference.
You're from the northest South there is.
So,
You know what?
I grew up on Southern Independent Wrestling.
and if you're
Virginia Championship Wrestling.
if you're 5'2", you're the tallest midget, but you're still a midget. Okay, like what's the big deal?
Southern
Darn.
WCW, Georgia Wrestling from Virginia. Cornbread.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go get some water ice, and maybe we'll go wait a while and do some shit. I don't know. What's other stupid things that Pennsylvanians say? Oh,
Wit.
man, hold on. Let me finish this. Hold on. It's all.
I've actually never said that.
It's all.
It's all
I think
Did
that's
your,
dumb.
stupid.
Did your,
Hit
when
us
you were a
with the
little
water
kid,
ice.
Oh, my-
when you were a little kid, did your granny ever send you to the corner store to get 7-Up? Maybe a
no,
cold bottle of 7-Up?
no.
Damn.
I'm not
Favorite
from
match-
Northern Virginia. I'm from Virginia Beach. It's the southernmost part of Virginia. Stop
Favorite-
it.
Tim.
Yes, sir. What?
Favorite match to call?
I don't know.
Awesome.
I'm lost. No.
Matt, Mark,
I thought
Ryan,
Tim already.
I
thought
did.
Tim
I already
answered
said the
that question.
the three matches of one night only in the Osirian portal.
Perfect. Tim said, or Ryan, I'm lost.
All right, my favorite match that I saw live was Joey Janela versus the Neon Ninja hybrid.
Facade.
Perfect.
McCabe.
Who didn't give theirs?
Everyone
Yo.
answered.
Am I the last one?
Yes,
You said
and it was
War
AJ
Games.
Styles. No, that was his favorite match to call.
It's all the same.
He
Tim, did
said
you
it.
say War Games? Tim said War Games.
No, I didn't. Shut up.
War games! War games! War games! War games!
9:51. We can't just be hitting all the sounders now.
My favorite match that I saw live, first night Legacy Wrestling, is the main event. Legacy heavyweight title match. AR Fox defeated Eddie Smooth, JT Dunn, PJ Black, and Shane Strickland. That whole card was fantastic, though. By the way,
What about
That's
Johnny
a really good
Gargano
show.
and Eddie Smooth? That was a great match too.
that was a good one.
Johnny and Smooth.
Candice LeRae
It would
was
have been
on
even
that
better.
card, too.
The only way that match could have possibly been better if they had teams of, wrestlers in a two rings with
Charlie said Sting versus Mean Mark in a,
You popped Mark.
in the Greensboro Coliseum. He says that was WCW, but only a few hundred people there, so he was counting. It's not independent though. That you failed, Charlie. I'm sorry.
I like the spirit. He picked Great Muta, so I'm fine with it.
All right.
From an actual southern area.
Wow. All right. So let's put the cap on that. We'll obviously talk more independence next week.
War games!
That doesn't count.
Games!
I'm the host. It counts.
War games!
Mark from the mute button. Hits him with the WG.
That's fantastic. Okay.
Mark ensuring that intern never goes back into his name.
Oh, I can fix that right now.
Oh,
What an
man, Charlie.
awful way to salute independent wrestling.
Well, Charlie, we are definitely going to get you out to an indie show.
There.
Now that the world's kicking
Fixed
back.
him.
He's never been to one. Uh-oh, what happened?
I fixed him.
Oh boy. Okay. The WWE has been counting down their top 50 tag teams over the past few weeks. On
Hosted by
Redacted and redacted.
my boy
Oh.
Fandango and
Nah.
Tyler Breeze.
It's the great team of future endeavors.
That doesn't narrow it down, Tim. That doesn't narrow it down.
It could.
I'm not going to run down the entire list. The top 10 were the British
Do
Bulldogs.
11.
Demolition at 11.
Thank you.
The British Bulldogs at 10. Brothers of Destruction at 9. New Age Outlaws at 8. Usos at 7. Legion of Doom 6. Dudley Boys 5. Edge and Christian 4. The Hart Foundation 3. The Hardy Boys 2. And the New Day at number 1.
So Demolition is at least better than half of the teams in the top 10, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Who do you put them above?
The
Usos.
Bulldogs, the Brothers of Destruction, the Outlaws, the LOD, and
The Usos.
Right.
I like the Usos. I think the Usos are a top 5 tag team of all time.
The Fart Foundation.
Easy.
The Hart Foundation's really solid too, but like
Easy.
as
Here's
far
the
as
thing.
WWF goes, because it's WWE's top tag
Right.
teams.
Legion of Doom's too high on this list for the WWE.
Yeah.
Like, I understand their scope in the history of tag team wrestling.
Real World Animal.
And like the Mega Powers are number 13.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Get
The
outta
Rockers at 14 are too high.
The Soul Patrol at 19. Like, I love giving credit where credit is due, but ain't nobody talking about Soul Man Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas.
No.
Well, Tim, who in the top 5 are you knocking out to put in the Usos?
They go hard in the paint, so really anybody.
I would probably take out the Dudleys.
Well, you put the Juicy Usos in the top 5.
I do. Of WWE tag teams, I think the New Day is absolutely
Okay,
number
so
one.
let's tackle that first, and then
Yes.
and we'll work through the rest of the list. New Day number 1.
One without question.
Does anybody find issue with that?
None.
Well, there's
I don't have-
3 of them. That's too many.
I don't
I
have an
think
issue
people
with
find
it. I
issue
under-
because they're
understand.
current.
Yeah, I understand why they did it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have them as my personal number 1, but it makes sense.
I mean, they've been around.
As a team, no other team in WWE history has ever ascended to the heights of the New Day.
I agree.
Well, the Bushwhackers were close.
You
They
sure?
made the list.
They're about
They were number 50.
like 49 options closer.
Right. Like, and in the New Day, the longevity is they've been around for how long?
6 years now? 7? Well, it depends on if you're counting post Big E. But they went from like 2014 to 2020, right?
Yeah.
I would
The
still call them the
longevity's
New Day,
certainly
right?
there.
They still wrestle as the New Day and Kofi and
Yeah.
Xavier.
Yeah, they're
I
still
mean, Demolition was still Demolition whether Crush was around or not.
Right.
and I mean, is the New Day podcast still a thing? Because
Yep,
like,
they're still the New Day.
so to me, they're still the New Day. Like, they didn't break up just because they split brands.
Is he
Right.
still on that?
Yep.
Is he?
You know, and theoretically, Big E, could win Money in the Bank and cash in on the WWE Championship and be back on Raw, and the New Day's back together.
That would be cool.
So that would be dope also. But yeah, I don't really have a problem with the New Day at number 1. I mean,
If anything, I mean, it's the people that are like, oh, the history. But no, it's
But even
it's
if
totally
you
fine with it.
even if you look at the history though, the New Day are the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. They beat Demolition's record.
Mhm.
I think they're collectively like an 11 or 12 time WWE tag team champion. Now I get it, you're there long enough. Eventually you're going to get the titles, especially
Right.
in a place where you might be like one of the only 2 or 3 tag teams that exist.
right.
Um,
And I mean, the number of title reigns in current wrestling means less in general than it did before because the frequency of title changes because you have more TV, etc.
Right.
But I mean,
I understand it's hard for people to put a current team on an
Mhm.
all-time list. though.
Right.
That's why I understand
It's-
people being upset,
it's
but I
like-
don't have an issue with
Yeah.
it.
It's like why people are upset when they say LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time, or people give
People are
respect.
upset because that's a fucking lie.
But is it?
But it's like if you look at the list and even in the top 10, if you look at the teams that are in the top 10, whether you agree with the top 10 or not, with the exception of the Dudley Boys and probably the Legion of Doom, like there's and these, but like a lot of these teams weren't even together as a tag team as long as the New Day has been together. Like we think of the longevity of the Rockers, like that was a relatively speaking a short period of time. Even the Hart Foundation was what, WrestleMania 2 through, if we're talking WWE, WrestleMania 2 through 7.
Yeah,
that's only 5 years. So the New Day's already beaten the Hart Foundation in terms of longevity. And I get they got back together as the faction later, but Brett and the Anvil didn't work together as a tag team later in time. So that, like, in the terms of WWE, that's so I mean, people know I grew up with the Hart Foundation, and I grew up with the Demolition, and I grew up with the British Bulldogs, and but it still doesn't mean they were together for a long time.
I mean, it's also kind of crazy that, like, I'm not seeing the Brainbusters on this list.
They are not on the list.
Were the Machines on the list?
No.
But the Brothers of Destruction at 9 is really high.
Very high.
Yeah.
To me, they weren't a tag team. To me,
no, they won tag team gold a few times, correct?
Yeah, they were WCW tag champions. They were WWF tag champions during the Invasion storyline. But to me, they just were brothers who teamed together on occasion. I think Team Hell No is a better team than the Brothers of Destruction.
Do you have the same issue then with Rock and Sock being a top 20 team?
No, because the way that Rock and Sock played out, it felt like they were more of a team than the Brothers of Destruction.
Do you remember the Brothers of Destruction, This Is Your Life, Matt?
Fair enough.
I probably have more of a problem with the Rock and Sock being above the Steiner brothers, though.
In WWF, I don't.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Like,
Steiners, I guess.
See, then you really have to go back to why is LOD that high?
The Shield at 22 is horrible. Los Guerreros at 25 is horrible. The APA to a certain degree, horrible. Team Hell No being so low. The Bar is a top 10 tag team.
They were really?
Yes.
10? Top
10? Yes.
You're a maniac.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know about top 10.
They were around for like 3 months.
They were not around for 3 months.
They were around for like 2 years.
Tim, I don't dispute your because I think we've had this discussion before that Cesaro is
the best tag team wrestler of all time.
But I don't know that
it's odd he only made the list once.
I don't know.
Right. Where is him and Tyson Kidd?
I don't know that I would put the Bar in the top 10 though.
Of all time WWF tag teams, absolutely.
15, maybe 20, absolutely 10.
Yeah, I would say top 20 is a good case for it, but top 10 is very high.
That's
name
hard.
10 teams better than the Bar.
New Day, the Hardy Boys, the Hart Foundation,
Dudley Boys, Usos, New Age Outlaws, Demolition,
Rockers.
the British Bulldogs.
British Bulldogs, I would say, are better than the Bar.
Nah.
Oh man,
you could easily replace.
You know, Cesaro is half of that, right?
The Shield is over the Bar, in my opinion, as well.
And then Sheamus is the other half.
And Sheamus is really good.
Dude, I like the Bar. I'm not shitting on the Bar.
The fact
top 10, I don't think they're top 10.
Harper and Rowan at 31. Send them down. That's a bad team.
Really?
Harper and Rowan are not. They're not better than the world's greatest tag team
I
or
think
DIY.
Harper and Rowan, because of what happened and recency bias, they were not good. They weren't good as the Bludgeon Brothers either.
No.
Like that was an awful repackage.
I mean, I always felt like Harper was just the much better singles wrestler, and they just forced him into tag teams. He didn't work as a tag team wrestler.
Like Strikeforce is really good. The Smoking Guns are really good.
I feel like the Quebecers might be too low at 48. I thought the Quebecers were great. I mean, they were together a really short time.
And like even the Quebecers, I wouldn't even make that the team with Jacques Rougeau. Where's the Rougeau brothers?
Yeah, I was just going to ask,
that's
where the
true.
Rougeaus?
Yeah, the fabulous Rougeau brothers not on the list.
Yeah,
I was not watching wrestling when Kendrick and London.
Oh
were a
my
thing,
God, you're missing out, dude.
But I missed out apparently. Because I watched this.
I mean, we all know about Brian Kendrick, right?
You would have, even if you guys were in wrestling during this time, you still probably would have missed it because nobody watched SmackDown.
That's fair.
Like they were on SmackDown and they were killing it, and they were having bangers with Deuce and Domino. They shouldn't have been having them.
Is the APA too low at 24?
Where is Deuce and Domino?
Not on the list.
That's a shame.
I feel like
wouldn't
the
put 'em on the
APA
list.
feels a little low at 24.
Yes.
I feel like in ring they
That's-
didn't do a ton. They were all backstage drinky gimmicks.
I mean, but they had longevity as
wrestling.
well.
That was wrestling when they were a tag team, though.
And they were an important part of the ministry too.
Right. And like, so for example, too, and this might just be me being an asshole, I don't think that Triple H and Shawn Michaels as DX is a tag team.
20.
Nope.
If they are, I don't think they're the 21st best tag team.
Like, yes, I get that they're run in the mid to late 2000s, or they're
But
late.
that was more nostalgia than
Right.
anything else.
Right.
It's-
It wasn't. It was a Mega Powers deal.
Yeah.
Like two dudes just
Right.
came together. They were in the stable together.
So mega powers are way too high.
Yes,
For what
13,
that was?
absolutely.
Yeah, way too high.
13, and the Valiant brothers are 12.
Right.
You gotta
That's-
throw an old team up there.
That's the old team you choose.
That's a fair point.
What about Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man? He was a great
Boogie
Valiant
Woogie
brother.
Man's good, but I don't give a crap about his brother.
And the Wild Samoans aren't far off from up there. Okay.
The Samoans are up there. Mr. Fuji and Toru Tanaka
Yep.
much deserved to be there. Volkov and the Iron Sheik at 26 as kind of that midline. Interesting.
I feel like Jarrett and Owen not being on here is a slight.
They weren't really a team.
I would certainly
for
put
that
them
long.
above the Bushwhackers.
Man, the Bushwhackers were money.
And the Natural Disasters are at
They weren't great.
34.
The thing about the Bushwhackers is I get they were kind of like jobber adjacent, but they had the longevity. Devin says no, he didn't see the Wyatt family. He said Luke and Ro. I don't remember Bray working as a tag team really
Yeah.
with
Like,
either
Well,
Harper or
I mean,
Rowan. I don't.
The Wyatt family, I guess, technically won when it was Bray and Orton, right? They
Yeah,
were going by the
but
Wyatt
that
family.
was that
Mhm.
was a
Couple
that was
weeks.
such a short
I mean,
time.
I'm not saying that should
were
count
they
it, but
tag team champions?
yeah.
Yeah, short time.
I mean, how long was Kane and X-Pac a thing? Like, I know
Maybe
they had a
6-7 months.
championship. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say less
just a
than
few
a
months.
year, but
And it's
I don't-
another thing too. It's like it's the Attitude Era. So people think that the Attitude Era lasted way longer than it actually did. And
Right.
storylines that they think lasted like a year was like
lasted
6
3
weeks.
how long were
This is the
D'Lo?
greatest story ever. It was literally 6 minutes on an episode of Raw.
How long
Right.
were D'Lo and Mark Henry a team?
Well, if you count
Less
their time
than
with the
Mae Young was
nation,
pregnant.
Right? Have they done like a top factions list?
that's probably coming up.
They put out a
hope
Factions
it's next.
DVD a couple of years ago.
And if that Top Factions DVD comes out and the Horsemen are not number one, that's
I'm done.
that's a bad list.
Then it's not a WWE list.
Right. But I don't
Right?
even
They
think,
do a top wrestling faction.
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
but like even if it's WWF list, like I don't even. Would it be the top 25? Because I don't even know if there's been 25 stables in WWF history.
I mean, there were a
actual
lot.
stables.
I
There
mean,
were
there's
a
25
lot
in
during the
AEW
Attitude
right
Era.
now, but
Yeah, the Attitude Era ones lasted a few weeks.
that's true.
They had a
The
ton
union.
of like they had the union, the ministry,
Yeah.
the corporation, corporate
Corporate
ministry,
ministry.
DX, the nation, the job
Charlie
squad.
asks, where's Chuck and
Right
Billy?
to
up there?
censor. Where is Billy and Chuck?
I would say Billy and Chuck should probably be on this list over some people.
Yeah, boy, they were really
Now,
good. I like that.
here's the solid question. Billy Gunn, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, all with AEW. I get Christian.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys are number 2.
Yeah, but the Jeff Hardy
Edge and
is
Christian are number 4.
Jeff Hardy is still on the roster. Edge is still on the roster.
NAO or at
New
number
Age
8.
New Age Outlaws are at 8.
Road Dogg is an 8, is like up in the agent list.
Isn't Devon with the WWE still?
I think
As an
Devon's
agent?
still an agent.
Billy
Natty
Kidman?
Natty carries the, and like another thing too, we're not taking into account women's tag team. There's not a single women's tag team on here at all.
That's very WWE.
But
Yeah.
like you have a women's division and you don't put the Iconics or the Boss and Hug Connection or
The Jumping Bomb Angels.
Jumping Bomb Angels. Yeah, like you can't put one of those 3 teams in the bottom half
I didn't even
as
think of that.
as fan service.
I think you should
PMS.
woke tweet the WWE.
It's not my place, man. That's for somebody else, Big Jim. Go ahead.
Oh, Jim's fine with the list.
Jim's not going to be critical of
How-
WWE on
You
Twitter.
think I'm going to dare tweet anything at WWE?
Dear
They
at
got this
Mr.
wrong?
Kevin Dunn, sir, your list sucks.
Let's extend this real quick outside of the WWE. Let's do a from this list. Does anybody shoot to the top of the list by removing the WWE restriction?
I still think the New Day are number 1.
So you mean the LOD Road Warriors doesn't shoot up? The Dudleys probably slide up a little
Yeah.
bit.
I think the Dudleys would be top 3.
I think that the Steiner brothers shoot from 17 to top 5.
Yeah.
I would say I think the
Okay.
Steiners definitely get into the top 10 if we're removing WWE.
I think they get top 5 easy.
Probably top
Harlem
5.
Heat then joins the list.
Harlem Heat joins the list
You got
very
to put
quickly.
the Freebirds in there too. The top
The
5. I would think.
Freebirds on the list.
They're up there. I don't know if the New Day can hold on to number 1.
No,
To
I
me,
would
they
think the
do.
Dudleys would be 1. Dudleys and Road
Because their
Warriors,
success
1
was
and
in
2.
bingo halls and they were like the only steady tag team in ECW. No.
Okay, Bruce Pritchard. Okay.
I-14.
I would probably, I'd probably put the Legion, maybe the Legion of Doom at number 1. If we remove the WWE restriction, because I mean they did it WWE,
It's
NWA, WCW,
WCW, Japan,
New Japan.
But so
All
did
Japan,
the Dudleys.
Mexico.
So did the Dudleys, though.
Yeah.
ECW,
Yeah,
WWE, Impact
TNA.
Wrestling.
They won the NWA tag titles. They won the TNA tag
NWA.
titles. They won the Tag World Grand Prix. They've won every single tag title there.
They're a
Also
pretty
on
big deal.
also on the list is the Good Brothers. Anderson and
Oh,
Gallows.
yeah.
That did definitely miss this list.
Yeah.
Charlie has
Not a WWF list for sure, but it's
Oh,
like,
first, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then
definitely
the
not.
Miracle Violence connection. Terry Gordy and
Like, here's a
Terry-
if WWE is not playing politics on their list, should the Good Brothers have made it onto the top 50? in the
not WWF list. No.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Breezango should have made it above them.
Yeah,
I'd agree with
honestly.
that. Charlie says Freebirds Midnight Rock and Roll top 5.
Midnight Express is up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And the Rock and
Rock and
Roll.
Roll
Yep, rock and
yeah.
roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they
a
have to
great
be in the
one.
top
Yeah.
5.
Man, because I
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally different list.
if you take away the WWE parameters, I just
I would actually like for us to maybe not next week, but in the by the end,
August, 3 Count Thursday celebrates tag team wrestling.
but it would be cool for
but
us.
yeah, let's dig into this.
Like, what if we remixed this list and came up with like our maybe not top 50, but top 25 all-time tag team list.
I like that.
Where would you guys put the C stars?
God's
If
sake.
WWE was
Mark,
listed
You
on?
know, while
Right around 98.
the C stars
Yeah.
while the C stars are really great, I just don't think they had the national footprint.
I do love the Sea Stars too.
They're getting there.
Because there's like another like
Getting there.
there's other teams too that like
They're
like
making waves.
the Young
Jim.
Bucks. Where do the Young Bucks sit? Where does the Kings of Wrestling sit?
117.
Where does
Why would you have to
Kazarian
say
and
the Young
Daniels?
Bucks to Jim? Honest to God, it's a wonder you didn't get dropped after magically saying those
They
two
can sit on
words.
it and spin, as far as I'm concerned.
Yikes!
Unbelievable. Jim's like,
But
hey,
they're
let's
Christian.
tweet.
They're Christian
tweet.
AF, dude.
Let's tweet about AEW. Fucking hate
Literally.
my wife even knows I hate the Young
No,
Bucks.
I'm not even kidding. Last night the Young Bucks come out. They don't
Unreal.
even get out of the tunnel, and Dana goes, "Those are the ones you hate, isn't it?"
Well, it's probably because their music hit and Jim went, oh.
No, I didn't.
Jim doesn't even know what their music sounds like.
Why would I? Why would I reserve any space in my brain for that music? Why?
It's a wonder you didn't strike Dana when they came out.
Choose across the room.
She's safe then.
Throw a shoe.
Not
Pillow.
while I'm podcasting.
Are
Are you going golfing this weekend, Jim?
I am. All right, let's any other thoughts on the WWE tag team list?
Real golf?
Definitely not fling golf because I'm not an asshole. Any other thoughts on the WWE's tag team list? I definitely want to I like, Tim, your idea of kind of remaking this list without the WWE parameters. We'll dig in that into the next couple of weeks.
I think
Yeah,
I just think the list is bad.
Yeah, I mean, for the WWE list, I
Yeah,
don't.
it was a good list.
No, I mean, there's again, Legion of Doom definitely too high. There's definitely some mistakes there, but I think the number one for the WWE is absolutely correct.
Would you have put Eva Marie and Doudrop on this list, Jim?
I mean, they're probably top 25 right
Okay,
now.
we're getting there.
Give it like 2 more weeks on Raw, and they'll probably crack the top 10.
Good.
All right. Let's go to the news though. Darby Allin, you know, you've heard of that guy. He's on that AEW show. We've heard people compare Darby Allin to the Jackass franchise. They reportedly interact in the 4th Jackass film. If you go to the IMDb cast page for Jackass 4, Darby Allin is listed on the cast there, as well as Shaquille O'Neal. But Darby Allin looks like he'll be making an appearance.
Hi, I'm Darby Allin, and this is Cactus Coffin Drop.
That's how you're in a movie. Let's see, Charlie, just backing you up here. Briscoe brothers go on the list. Beer Money go in the list.
Briscoes were already on the list. They were on the E list.
They were on the WWE list.
They were, yeah.
While speaking to Barstool's Pardon My Take podcast, Tony Khan noted that he has no plans of being an on-screen character on AEW TV. Quote, I've done stuff on other wrestling shows that kind of promote AEW and crossover, but that's kind of the line I don't want to cross because I feel like you disappear up your own butt when you start writing that way. So don't expect to see Tony Khan. Yes, Tim.
He's already been an on-screen character in AEW.
Yes, he has. But I guess don't expect to see him more.
Great. That's great. That sounds great. Great.
That is great. Very great. WWE
You
chairman.
don't believe that 1 second, do you, Jim?
What, that Khan's not going to be on the show?
Yes.
Absolutely fucking not. Are you kidding? Not a chance.
There is nothing better than a boss character.
Absolutely.
You've got a better chance of booking an AEW main event that doesn't have a run-in than Tony Khan not being an on-screen character.
Oof, that's a bold claim. WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon is reportedly set to scout talent at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando this week. NXT champion Karrion Kross, former NXT North American champion Bronson Reed, Scarlett and Shotzi Blackheart have all appeared at recent Raw and SmackDown tapings for dark matches and main event tapings, so officials can get a better look at them for potential call-ups. Fightful Select reporting that these appearances are part of a major scouting effort to replenish WWE's main roster, which is, of course, been hit recently with releases and repeat booking. The major scouting effort has led to names in WWE coming to the Performance Center to scout talent. It's been recently reported Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis were also there watching matches at the Performance Center with other officials, and word is that Vince McMahon was scheduled to be there today. You're looking at potential call-ups.
So wouldn't you think that they would use NXT as a place where they could scout people to call them up instead of sending them and having useless, god-awful matches with Shelton Benjamin on main event and like making them like, I am not a Killer Karrion Kross guy, but it is embarrassing seeing Killer Kross without any of his shtick on main event.
That
was horrible.
That was awful.
It looked like Karrion Kross was a DLC character in WWE Main Event the game.
Sure did.
He didn't have the smoke. He didn't have the fancy anything. Him with Scarlett. Him without Scarlett is garbage.
It's bad. It's bad.
I can't, man.
It's
so dumb. And like Vince McMahon, they suck. The last place Vince McMahon should be right now is the Performance Center because he's been cutting people left and right. He cut people 3 days ago. He cut people 10 days ago. He's going to cut more people. He just gut 205 Live. Like, what else?
Like, you literally have a show on Tuesday nights that is that in front of fans and is like a TV production that you could literally scout talent on.
The crazy thing about it is, and I was listening to Oral Sessions with Renee Paquette, and they had the former Iconics on. And yep, and Renee asked the question, the difference between NXT and WWE. And she says, or they both said, it's night and day. Like
BBJ.
the experience in NXT is fun, is creative, is enjoyable to be at, and WWE is not.
Yeah, it sucks.
It seemed like they didn't say that it wasn't, but when you use the phrase fun
right
at one place and then you use the phrase night and day,
right.
The night of a day's fun is what? Boring, dull, sad,
void of happiness,
garbage, like repeat booking. So you're just gonna bring Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed in, and then you're gonna book them in matches 18 times.
Right.
The thought that one or two people being called up could fix this is insane. It's insane thought to think that we could just drop in a person or two and fix the repeat booking and not fully shake stuff up with like draft or something.
Well, there's a draft set for sometime in August, probably after SummerSlam is the report. I mean, here's the thing. Like,
I guess right, if you're booking towards SummerSlam,
I'm saying this comparatively speaking. Compared to like the previous 6, 8, 10, 12, 24 weeks of Monday Night Raw, the last two have been improved because it feels like there's direction and there's purpose and there's actual focus to it. So my hope is that getting back in front of fans, getting out of the Thunderdome and actually going towards Money in the Bank, going towards SummerSlam, that there is actually a purpose and a reason for things, and that they can utilize the roster a little bit more. Again, that's my
When
hope.
are they out of the Thunderdome?
There's 2 weeks left.
It's the Friday before Money in the Bank. Friday night SmackDown, July.
So then Money in the Bank live crowd, that Raw live crowd following.
SmackDown,
SmackDown's
SmackDown
the
live crowd.
SmackDown live, that's what I meant. Yes.
SmackDown
And then,
live
yeah.
crowd in Houston. Money
So
in the
there's
Bank at Fort
there's
Worth.
2 more SmackDowns and 2 more Raws inside the Thunderdome.
I hate that fucking Thunderdome so much.
I'm ready for it to be done, and I've been defending it, but like recently it's felt like they're just waiting to get out of there now. It's kind of hit that point because, like, you know, AEW's had full crowds. They're headed back on the road next week, and like, you know, NXT's expanded the crowd in the Performance Center, and it's just like it just, I feel like the show, even though Raw has been improved again comparatively speaking, it just feels like it's like they just want to get out.
Also, kind of crazy that AEW is beating WWE to market with live crowds.
Wild to think that
It doesn't
happened.
surprise me. AEW, I think, needs the revenue more than WWE does.
But also,
It actually surprises me that WWE's getting, like, when AEW announced the shows for July, starting next week, like the prospect of WWE leaving the Thunderdome early because it was supposed to go like up until around SummerSlam wasn't even on the radar yet. So like WWE getting back out, I feel like is a reaction to AEW, because I don't think, like, WWE doesn't need to go on the road. They're making their money. AEW's operating at a loss. They need the live event money. Despite being in Jacksonville, not paying for a building,
WWE making budget cuts doesn't necessarily
Hey.
tell me that they're doing great.
let's be honest. Budget cuts means they're just cutting people that they're not using. It's not
Okay.
that they're not making money. We know WWE's making money, but like,
fans are coming into Daly's place and they're not paying for Daly's place.
yeah, but they also have a huge deal for their video game. Like, they're in the red.
That
Like,
hasn't but that game hasn't come out yet, and once it does, it's gonna beat the WWE game that comes out.
right. But I'm saying
I
currently,
will buy the AEW game, absolutely.
currently operating AEW is at a loss. That's what I'm saying. They want to get back out. WWE and AEW are in different financial situations.
But it also costs money to get back out.
And it
Like
costs
that's what I don't understand. Like, if you're looking to make money, you should probably just bide your time at Daly's place where you don't have to pay for some of this stuff.
And to say they're at a loss because they invested in a video game that's going to turn profit is kind of short-sighted. There's no
the game
way
might suck, Tim.
the game will not suck. The game will not suck.
Right, and most WWE 2K games didn't suck either.
The 2K games sucked. And
Yeah,
the reason
they were pretty bad.
why they sucked is because they left Ukes and THQ and started working with Take-Two and 2K. The SmackDown versus Raw product was great. When it was WWE 14, 15, 16, those, when they were with 2K,
They were
those
still
got
with 2K
bad.
at 16?
Yeah, that was all 2K. Whenever they made the
I actually
switch.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and the AEW video game is Ukes and
I knew that, right.
THQ.
Yeah, I think the WWE, it was reactionary to AEW.
I think you have to put it in front of a live crowd. Like, it's professional wrestling. You have to have fans.
Oh, the
Actually
crowd
reacting.
is infinitely better than no crowd. I'm
Well,
not
you have to.
disputing that. But
And you can't
WWE's been able
force
to
it.
control. They've been able to control their narrative.
Correct. Will Raw be that well received from a live crowd?
If
That's what I would worry about if I was VKF.
here's why. Here's why the first Raw back is going to be a success.
They can't get any worse.
Also,
True.
every secret and surprise and comeback that they've just been sitting on
Right.
will
Yes, I
roll
agree.
out the Monday after SummerSlam.
Right, this is the Monday after Mania.
Yes, Becky.
After Money in the Bank.
Expect.
Or, I'm
yeah,
sorry, Raw after Mania,
Right.
essentially. Correct.
expect Becky Lynch. Expect like every
Brock Lesnar potentially.
Keith Lee, like just all these people that are just floating around.
Bray Wyatt.
Brock
Bray
Lesnar
Wyatt.
guy.
Like, it could be literally
Strike one, right?
anyone.
Frank the Clown.
Strike two. Yeah, and you know the
Green
like,
shirt, khaki hat guy.
and you're dead.
Wrestling front row vampire.
Collar and elbow man.
He's okay.
Tie-dye guy.
But yeah, we
WWE
will,
super fan.
Remember when we used to get the cosplayers
oh
for
yeah,
like a week?
yeah. They shut that. They shut that
They
Real
shut down real
real
quick.
quick. Oh, you're having fun here? Gone. All right. Tickets
Not in
for-
Vince McMahon's front row, sir.
This show is not about you. Tickets for SummerSlam were released last week, and according to Sports Business Journal, more than 30,000 were sold in the first 12 hours. The show, of course, scheduled for Saturday, August the 21st at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Those 30,000 tickets already dwarfed the crowd size at WrestleMania 37, which was, of course, the two-night event. Tickets still available through Ticketmaster. It has the current capacity listed at just over 41,000. The 2019 SummerSlam, which of course is the last SummerSlam that had fans, was 16,904 at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada. Devin says he hopes the Fiend comes back soon. He misses him. I miss the Fiend as well. I think once crowds are back, he will be back as well. Charlie says I miss red hat blue shirt guy. Red hat blue shirt guy.
Are you colorblind and thinking of khaki hat green shirt guy?
Yeah, maybe. Any other
It
thoughts?
would suck to find out this is how you have a major medical issue.
No wonder I always get into traffic incidents.
Damn it.
There
That
are
makes so much more sense now. Anybody else have any other thoughts before we close this thing out?
There's still like front row seats at SummerSlam still available.
Summerfest.
Yeah, I thought it was Summerfest.
We should
And
probably find that sounder for me.
and
'Cause I feel like we'll beat
yeah,
that one to
I get
death.
that
if
one.
you lose, we will ban you from the Summerfest. Also, if it is any indication, you guys might want to look at the floor chart for SummerSlam because the ramp is crooked.
Is that
22-minute long entrances.
It's
coming from the corner?
it's coming from the corner and swinging in. Yeah, it looks
Is there
sick.
AEW in the fucking ramp?
It looks sick, dude. I love it.
Oh, bitch, God, wait. But
Can
no,
you take
the
a
Royal,
picture of it and send it to the
Yeah.
the
the group
Royal
for us.
Rumble
Mm-hmm.
ramp kind of came from the corner. Okay, I'm not panicking yet. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Now's the perfect time to panic.
Don't panic.
I mean, if you're gonna panic.
Don't panic.
Okay.
All right, let's close this thing out. Ryan, you got
Yeah. Hang with us on social media all month long. We are celebrating American independence. That is some of the independence you see behind us. We're going to be talking about shows that are coming up in our area, shows that we're promoting, shows that we're excited for. Independent wrestling is back, and it needs your support. Let's support American independence all month long. And then beyond. Follow me. It's RYN Eagle. Follow the show. It's 3 Count Thursday. I don't know. I'm done talking. Jim.
Matt, Woman of the Week. Got anything else?
Close.
Woman of the Week, yes. Featuring a referee this week. So Ref Allison Lee. Make sure you're giving her a follow. Want to give some love to the independent wrestling referees as well, the good ones. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at 3CT, the letter A. Philly, as in Philadelphia, the number 8 3CT affiliate. At this point, I tweet about the Phillies sometimes, the Union even more infrequently, and coming up here at Notre Dame. So,
Mark, got anything?
I have one thing. It's very important to everybody out there. This Tuesday at Roots Market, there's a very good chance, and I mean very good chance, that the Countryside Bakery, formerly known as Marion Pies, will have the fresh blueberry whoopie pies the first of the season. So get ready.
Tim, you got anything?
I do. Not the Tool Man across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. If you care, I'm on TikTok. If you like TikTok, you can send me TikToks. block it. He's not on screen. You can't see it. But as Matt shouted out all the good referees, I want to shout out all those others that work behind the scenes for independent shows. Your commentators, your ring announcers, your photographers, your videographers, the site, the sound, and the script that goes through what gets put on display. Really good time. Go ahead, Ryan.
And the guys that sweep up apples.
Those guys too.
Those guys too.
But of course, love you guys. Without you guys, there's no us. We're glad to do this for you every Thursday here on Facebook or wherever else we go. Tell somebody you love them, and we'll see you next week. Big Jim.
Absolutely. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Make sure you're following the show at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go to 3countthursday.com. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms, YouTube as well. Make sure you, again, follow our home networks, NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com, and the Leib Sports and Music Network, LEEIB Sports.com. Until next week, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin.